What's up, guys? Hope everyone's well. Lovely day outside. It's like 50 degrees and shit out up in New York. This video I want to talk to when it's specifically for, Black History Month. I know Black History Month is about to come to an end, so I think one of the things that I should have touched on, I think one of the things I should touch on are like words. And the next thing I'm going to touch on is I did state earlier in one of my earlier videos that I may post a video or re-upload or a re-review of the revolt shit. I'm not gonna do it. If at some point, if my channel grows more, way more, and that's a suggestion, is whatever. But I think I may have already touched on many of those things in those videos, and I think it's possible, based off the content that I've already released, to have some more accurate picture of where I'm coming from or what I'm implying when I'm talking about this fucking subject. I fucking lost my train of thought. When I'm talking about, trains of thought in the black community that leads to lines of thinking to not voting and a whole bunch of shit, and just the political aspect for black people, turning some of their activism into actual policy. And the power of, actually voting, and the power of politics is the ultimate form of modifying people's behavior, even when they don't want to. That's the best part, even when they don't want to. So words, words can trigger a lot. Words can have meanings. Words can cause a lot of responses. I made an earlier video about why black people always have to resort to hurting people, to using their, no, not just black people, but people in general responding with physical violence with your hands. Now, many times a lot of people don't consider the fact that they'll engage in an action where it makes them feel better about the situation. Maybe it be racist comments or something like that, where it's bad is said, and it's an attempt to make you look bad or humiliate you, or to apply the idea of bad to some of your characteristics. And what many people are quick to do is resort to violence. And for black people, this is one thing that, unfortunately, to an extent, part of it is not like the black community. It's just a lot of people don't have, many people, when you're pushed into a corner, you're gonna find a way to improve your situation. And for many people, one of the things in the culture, black culture, I don't know I don't know 100% what the motivations are for it, but the response is to shut you up, to hit you, to punch you. This is some things that happens in the hood, and what happens is, even though it is an action that's gonna give you utility, the end of the day, there are other repercussions that can come that put you in the worst situation. Let's say you beat somebody up, they said the N-word, some shit. Let's say you're in a club or some shit, someone says the N-word, they say it at work, some shit, and you punch them in the face, or you hit them, or you threaten, or you get in a matter of, this, right? That can lead to legal shit. Now, you may not care about the legal shit, but at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you punched a nigga and it was for legal shit. Now, may he have gotten hurt essentially? Yeah. What if you hit him too hard? Now, that's more legal fees, or that's him taking you to court potentially for something. You having to deal with damage, going to paying for hospital bills, a broken jaw, some shit like that. And what is the reality in many situations, in most situations that I've seen or I've been in, if you do shit like that, when it comes to the police, the slurs, it's not going to be anything compared to a white person saying you beat the shit out of them. If enough white people are around, they will deny that it ever happened, right? And what this yields to is a lot of negative things for black people. I don't care about what it's going to be perceived in culture about looking bad. I'm talking about making yourself look better, if anything, as opposed to how people are going to view black people as a whole. If you're able to use your words instead of using fists first, it looks better for you as a black person, and in your life, when it comes to resolving problems with your words, it yields better results than it would to hit somebody first. Now, am I saying growing up, am I saying when you're at whatever age that you shouldn't be beating people up or fighting them or learning how to fight? No. Because the reality is, regardless of how I want the world to be or what direction I want to push it in, the reality is niggas always want to try to do shit. So if you have a kid, all that, teach your kid to fight, teach your kid to do karate, teach your kid to do all that, because niggas be trying and they need to get their ass beat. But my idea is, if you are not the person who's the aggressor, who escalated the situation to physical violence first, and then you beat that person's ass, you are in a much better situation from multiple perspectives as opposed to hitting that person first. Being able to use your words to resolve an issue yield way more results in your work life, in general. When you're able to modify people's behavior with your words, it demands a certain type of respect. It demands a certain type of response. When it comes to police, one of the things that police will do, again, and you know, it's part of their technique. They push you, they fuck around with you, or they're up in your face. And one of the ways that they're gonna beat your ass or throw you to the ground is after they're up in your face, and then you push them away just to get them away from you, and you just assaulted a police officer. This is something that they do all the time. This is something white people be doing when they all up in their face and then you get your ass beat by police officers. If you're able to use your tone and the messaging correctly in situations like that, it don't matter what authority figure there is, it doesn't matter what it is, you can always use your words to improve your situation around you way more than using your hands. This has been too much. Now, again, is a nigga gonna have to get their ass beat every now and then? Possible, agreed. But is it something that you should strive to do all the time? Nah. And you know, that's been a thing that for me, you know, especially as a black person, you know, you're growing up, and many times you might be under the impression that when it comes to fighting, you don't always gotta fight. But when it comes to a black person living in America or just living in the world, many times you're emasculated. And what happens is black people or anyone around you, even when you use your words to an extent, if you raise your voice, that's indicative of being aggressive. Or when you're assertive and you don't like back down and you're more stern or you're more clear with your voice, it's aggressive and people get scared. This is a common thing that has been for black people for many times. But again, if you make an effort to try and use your words differently, even in the form of yelling, even in that situation, if you're able to gouge, you know, voice levels, and you know, if a person's yelling, a white person's yelling, and you don't yell, if you're able to do this with time, work on this muscle of using your words instead of your fists or whatever, it yields you greater results. In that situation where the person may do something and it's rude, analyze with the words, right? Insult them in a professional manner, insult them in a way with words, insult them in those ways. Because what happens is, when it comes to white people, in anything in general, think about what happens, think about what's going on in general. So it doesn't matter what your education level is. If you're ever doing something, if you ever do something to humiliate somebody, people are gonna know you're trying to humiliate them. They're always gonna know. It doesn't matter what your intelligence level is. Part of the reason people have a problem with academia is it imposes that idea of I'm better than you, or the tone. It's words though, right? It's words. One of the things is, you know, if you use your words, regardless of what the intelligence level is, regardless of what it is, if you always respond with words, you will always shut a nigga down. It doesn't matter how smart they think they are. If you are more wittier with your words, if you're better with your words than them, it yields you greater results. And now, in the instance that this person may want to put their hands on you after you insult them, then you can beat their ass. But you don't want to do it first. You don't want to escalate the situation of violence. That's about it. I can go in more detail, I can say more shit, but you know, this is I did want to make this video on that. I think in the black community it's very important, and it really centers around as like mainly, is there situations where you may beat somebody's ass and you get away with it? Yeah, I do that. You know, again, all of these things you have to gauge it, but still, your first idea should be, don't beat his ass. Shit on him in public. Speak to them. It always works. And not only that, whenever you're in a situation, you may be in a club or a bar. This just happened to me. A club or a bar, niggas want to fight. Use your words. Don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. You don't have to be a bitch when you use your words, but use your words. See what happens. See what happens. Because at the end of the day, if you end up doing that fight, the girls who y'all were probably fighting over, they ain't fucking nobody. But if you use your words and you end that situation with that nigga who wanted to fight, I bet you getting that pussy later on. I bet you. Happened to me more than once. So again, in general, just using your words are better. The first thing, these are the first thing. How can you resolve this situation better? How can you humiliate somebody with your words better than using your fists? You got to do a combination of these things. Like, comment, subscribe, all that shit. GG, be safe. Coronavirus is real. Get your vaccines if you can get a vaccine. Shit is getting worse, my niggas. Especially for minorities. Shit is real. I don't know if we're gonna get another surge, but I don't trust niggas. So get your vaccine if you can. Love you all. Be safe. Happy Black History Month.